So when we have angles that add up to 90 degrees, something that forms a right angle like that, you can see that box in the corner that tells you that it's a right angle, that it's a 90-degree angle. We have that split into two angles. These two angles are called complementary angles. They're complements to each other. Anytime we have a corner formed like this, a 90-degree angle or right angle formed, we have two complementary angles. So if we're asked for the complement of 80 degrees, it's really just asking for the other angle that would add up to 90 degrees with it. The angle that complements it to get it up to 90 degrees, that would have to be 10 degrees. For 23, we're trying to figure out the angle that adds up to 90 degrees with this 23. So a simple way to figure that out is really just working backwards. We do 90 minus this 23. That would give us 67. Same thing on the last one. The angle that complements this or adds up to 90 with 45 is 45. So those are actually congruent angles or equal angles. Here we're looking for the missing angle. The angle that has to add up to 90 with that is 30 degrees, 30 plus 60. We could set up an equation for this where we have 60 plus x equals 90. We know that these two have to add up to equal 90, so we'd end up subtracting 60 from both sides, and that would give us x equaling 30. The reason I'm setting up the equation on this one, I know that's a little bit easy. I know you can see that 60 plus 30 would give you 90, but really I just want to set it up because the equations get tougher. Really, we get expressions in here that just make it necessary to set up a whole equation for this. Here we have another right angle. It's a 38-degree angle plus some angle that we don't know that add up to 90 degrees. So we can subtract 38 from both sides, and that would leave us with x equaling 52. So the remaining part of this 90-degree angle is 52 degrees. That's BOC or COB, either way. Alright, so here's some trickier problems dealing with complementary angles. Each of them is going to involve setting up an equation. They're going to give us some expressions that we don't really know. We have variable terms in here, so we're going to need to set up equations. If we're talking about complementary angles, then we're talking about two angles that add up to 90. So that's really going to be helpful in setting up our equations. Here we have two complementary angles that have measures of 2x and 3x, and we want to figure out what x is. So if they're complementary, that means they add up to 90. That means this one plus that one add up to 90. And that would give us that equation. 2x plus 3x has to give us 90. We don't know what those are, but we know that when we add them together, it does equal 90. We can combine like terms and get 5x, that's just adding 2 and 3, and then we divide by 5 on both sides. That would give us x equal to 18. We could actually test that if we wanted to. We could plug 18 back in for 2x, and for 3x we would do 2 times 18, that would give us 36, and 3 times 18, that would give us 54. You could add those together, and that would give you 90. You really just plug it back into this equation, and you can see it would give you 90. On the next one, we're trying to find the value of x and the unknown angles. So we're trying to find these two angles. We again know that these three are going to add up to 90 degrees. We see that corner being formed. Really, there should be a box there to tell us that it's 90 degrees. But we know that all three of them are going to add up to 90 degrees. So x plus 2x plus 27 equals 90. We could then combine like terms, get 3x plus 27. We could subtract 27 from both sides. That would give us 3x equals 63, and we divide by 3 on both sides, and x is 21. So that tells us this angle. We still need to find this 2x. If x equals 21, then 2x would have to equal 42. That's double 1x. That's twice as big, so that's 42. The last one says if angle A and B are complementary, find the measure of the two angles. So we want to find the measure of that one and that one. That says 2x minus 2 and x plus 32. Alright, so we can set up the equation. We know that these two added together is 90 degrees. That one plus that one, 2x minus 2, plus x plus 32 equals 90 degrees. Now we can combine like terms. We'd get 3x from combining the 2x and the 1x. Then we combine the negative 2 and the positive 32 to give us a positive 30. Our next step would be subtracting 30 on both sides. That would cancel out this plus 30. That would give us 60 on the right side and 3x left on the left. Our last step would be to divide by 3, and that would give us x equaling 20. So that actually doesn't tell us everything that we need to know here. That tells us what x equals. We really want to find the measure of angle A and the measure of angle B. Angle B is a little bit easier. It's saying that x plus 32 is angle B. Well, if x is 20, then x plus 32 is 52. So the measure of angle B is 52. And we could plug into this equation and figure out what angle A is, or we could just subtract it from 90. We could subtract angle B from 90, and that would tell us the remaining part, the complementary angle. Either way, we should get 38. We would plug in here, 2 times 20 would be 40, minus 2 would be 38. So that's 38, and that's 52.